Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Let's start chapter 8 of T2, and this chapter is about congruence and similarity. So we'll talk about congruence first. So the two figures are said to be congruent if they have same shape and same size. When we say the same shape, it means that all the angles are same. And when we say same size, that is all the corresponding sides are equal. Let's say if you are comparing one Toyota Corolla of the same let's say the model 2022 with another Corolla of 2022, they are exactly the same. They are congruent. All the angles are the same, right? And for that matter, and we also say that if the two figures are congruent, then it means that they can be mapped onto each other under reflection, rotation and translation. So what do we mean by that? There are so many things I have already said. So what do I mean by that? Let's take the congruence and try to understand what do we mean that it can be mapped under reflection, rotation and translation. So let's start. Congruence. Okay. So, as I have said that if the two figures are congruent, they can be mapped onto each other under reflection. So, for the reflection, suppose it's just like that. If you are looking into a mirror, when you look into a mirror, what do you get? Your image exactly same as you are, but it is backward, right? So, if we have a triangle over here and if we have a triangle over here, okay, it's just like the triangle is facing a mirror, and what do we get? Same triangle of the same shape and of the same size. It could be a bit different, but what I mean is that it's just like looking into a mirror, right? And if we are looking into a mirror or some figure is placed before a mirror, you're going to get the same figure with the same shape and the same size. Okay, this is about reflection. Now, what do we mean by rotation? So, suppose if we have one triangle like this, okay, and one triangle like this, okay. Now what is happening is we have here two triangles, right? Now the thing is to make sure they are congruent or not. First thing is we have to rotate them, and sometimes we have to flip them as well. Okay, like if I rotate it like anti-clockwise, I get, if I rotate it like this, anti-clockwise, I get this. Okay, pretty close. Now if I flip this diagram, flip this triangle, what am I going to get? Like this, one triangle, and I am going to flip this, another. Okay, so now both the triangles are looking same, having the same shape, same size. So they can be mapped through rotation, or we can flip it as well. So this is under reflection. If the image is the same under reflection, if the image is same under rotation, so they are congruent. And there is one more thing. if we have a figure and we move it to some to move it little away, and it remains the same, then it means that the figures are same under translation. So let's draw that also. Now, if I have this figure, triangle, and I move it away, okay? Now, it is moved away, but the size and the shape remains the same. So it is congruent. It is also same under translation. So now these are the three methods. If we are mapping a figure onto another figure and they are same under reflection, they are same under rotation, same under translation, same size, same angles, so it means that the figures are congruent. It's not always that we have to apply all these methods to see that the figures are congruent or not. It could be that sometimes we apply one, sometimes we apply two, or sometimes we don't apply even a single one, and we can just see that we have two figures and we can check whether they are congruent or not, or we can find out the missing sides or the missing angles. So let's do some examples for this congruence and the similarity issue. Okay. Okay, we have two figures, two polygons, and if it is said that A, B, C, D is congruent, these three lines means congruent to P, Q, R, S. Now, it is given that both are congruent, so it is clear. Now, what do we have to find? And we have to find the sides, the unknown sides. Let's say we have to find PQ, QS, PR, and RS. We have to find these sides. Okay. Now, if the two figures are congruent, and we can feel it that okay, I can see that if I flip this figure, both the figures are same, right? Both figures have 90-degree angle. So how to find these unknown sides? The simple way is to see which vertex corresponds with the vertex of the second polygon. Now, you see this, if I flip this, it will be, both the figures will be the same. But to start with, I have a 90-degree angle over here, 90-degree angle over here. It's very simple, right? So side C corresponds with side S of this PQRS, right? Okay, if side C corresponds with S, then this thing, side D corresponds with R. This R, D corresponds with R. Now, if we move upward from the 90-degree angle, move upward with the 90-degree angle, this is A. A corresponds with Q. And we are left with just B. So B corresponds with P. Okay. Now it is pretty clear. I have to find this PQ. Okay. So what is the PQ equivalent in the other figure? So I have PQ. So P is basically B and Q is basically A. Okay. So it's equal to BA, or you can say AB. Okay, it's B and A, which is, this is 3 centimeters, so this is also 3 centimeters. Okay, 3 centimeters. Now, if you take another side, which is SQ or QS, QS is equal to, Q is A, and S is C, right? Is equal to C, which is 6 centimeters. So 6 centimeters. This is also 6 centimeters. So likewise, we can find all the sides. So if the figures are congruent, right, we have to see which vertex corresponds with the vertex of another one figure, and then we can easily manage to find the unknown sides of the second figure, right? So let's take another example and see how the things are going on. Okay, this is another example. We have two triangles. First triangle is A, B, and C. Another is C, D, E. Both are congruent. And we have to find angle CDE, angle A, angle CED, and angle ACB. So we have to find these angles, okay? Both the triangle are congruent and we have to find these angles, okay? So for this figure, it is given that both are congruent. But still, to make sure that we have understood which vertex corresponds with which vertex, we have to see that how these both triangles can be mapped onto each other. So for that matter, you see that it has a smaller side, a larger side, and a large side. Okay, and this triangle, if we see, this is the smaller side, this is the larger side. The smaller side has to be here, and the larger side has to be here. So for this, what I am going to do, I am going to pick this E from here and flip it upwards, and then I am going to rotate it, and I will fix it, and I will map it on the triangle ABC, right? So what I mean here is, I have one triangle like this, A, B, and C, and another triangle this E, when I pick it upward, it comes here, and C is here, and D is here, okay? You pick this E upward, okay? You pick this E, and E comes over here, and then you just rotate it, and it comes over here, like it is placed over here. Now, it's easy to understand which side corresponds with which one. So, A corresponds with C, B corresponds with D, and C corresponds with E. Now, although the letter C is common in both triangles, but if you can see here, the C is corresponding with E in another triangle, and this letter A is corresponding with C. That is why I said that whenever you, even if the triangles are congruent, and if you are going to find the unknown angles or the sides, make sure that first you have understood how you are mapping these two triangles. For this, what I did was, I flipped it and then I rotated it. This E goes upward, and then I rotated it and placed it over here. So I have here 40-degree angle, I have here 120 degree, okay? Now what I have to find? Angle C, D, and E. This angle we have to find C, D, E. Okay. Now angle CDE equals to what? C corresponds with what? E. Okay. D corresponds with what? Sorry, beg your pardon. This C is from this triangle, so A. D corresponds with B, and this E corresponds with C. Angle. What angle it is? Angle A, B, and C. It is 40. So it is 40 degrees. So this is also 40. Okay. Now let's take another one. I have to find angle CED. What is it? Angle C, E, and D. I have to find this. Now this is pretty simple. We know that in a triangle the total angle is 180. So 180 minus 120 minus 40. What are we left with? 20. So this is 20 degrees. Okay. And finally, what we have to find A, C, and B. Now for this ACB, A corresponds with C, C corresponds with E, and what B corresponds with D. Okay. So it's pretty easy. We have already calculated it, which is 20 degrees. So it is solved. Okay. I hope you got the idea of the congruent figures. The congruent figures are those figures which have the same size and same shape. And we can map, and when we say that we are going to map one figure onto the other, that we have to keep in mind that if under reflection, are they equal? Under rotation, if we rotate them, are they same? If we translate them, if the same figure is moved, is it still same? And if we are sure that under all these things the figures are same, then we can easily say that both the figures or both the shapes or both the things are congruent. Thank you very much.